This video will take you through monitoring a running BrightServer. So I can monitor BrightServer from within the BrightBuilder environment, and the way I do that is in the servers window. So just before I go to the servers window, I'll just show you what I'm running. I'm running BrightServer from within the development environment for the purposes of this demonstration. And on the servers window, I can add a server. So I'll add the local host for the locally running server, and then I connect to the server, and the admin account out of the box, the BrightServer will always have the BS admin account there, and by default the beginning password is change it, so CHANGEIT, change it. I am now connected to BrightServer. So when I'm talking about monitoring BrightServer, I'm talking about these items from system info, online users, licensed devices, remote tracing, user activity, and client logs in the servers window. Configuration will be left to a separate video from this one. So the system info window is a simple read-only display showing me some vital statistics for the running server. All of this data is coming from BrightServer in real time. I can refresh all of these read-only windows to get the most up-to-date values. So some of those values that might change would be the amount of memory being used there. You can see that's changing as I'm talking. Probably the most used part of this screen would be the save to file function, where I can save the server token here to a file to send to Bright Software for licensing. The next item on the BrightServer's monitoring window are the online users. Online users, here you can see the username bsadmin, which is actually the account that I'm using to connect and to monitor the system right now. So that's myself. But if another user was to come in here and be logged on and doing a lengthy process, then I would see them appearing in this window here. This window again is being updated in real time. Licensed devices. Here I get a pretty useful showing me what my total number of valid licenses I have installed on this BrightServer are, and how many I have available in my pool of device licenses. So I've got 10 in total. Here I have one license being taken up by one user, and I've got 9 free, so 9 are spare in the pool. Remote tracing is a very, very powerful and very useful tool. I can change the trace level on the server of the level of tracing that I want to have. If I dial that up to info, and then what I'll do is I've got my PDA here that's going to connect to the server, and that'll go through, and you can see as it's doing it live, I'm getting a live trace. So this is extremely useful. Again, this can be used for remote trace in a remote scenario where I'm monitoring a server totally just connected over the network. I can do some nice things here. I can save that trace to a file. I can clear the trace. It'll ask me if I want to save the trace that I currently have, and I can even do some text searching within that there. So that's extremely useful again. User activity is the next one, and user activity is good for keeping and monitoring, keeping an eye on the usages of users. So when we're dealing with a user who's maybe saying, look, they haven't been able to get online for some time, we can quickly come here and see the last time that they synchronized, the log on time, log off time in server time, whether they've synchronized, how many records are being moved, database records are being moved from the client to the server in both directions, up and download. I can even see how much data in kilobytes is being moved around. I should note that this user activity screen, it does need to be enabled on the server configuration. We do have to tick that on. By default, that is turned off. Again, the configuration will be covered in greater detail in another video. Finally, the client logs. is another extremely useful tool for troubleshooting and monitoring the BrightServer. So here the way this works is I say, if I know that I've got a user in the field who's experiencing some difficulties, I can simply add a request to the BrightServer here. Let's pretend that user 1 is having some problems. So I've basically added to the BrightServer a request to get this person's trace log file the next time that they synchronize and connect. So if I get my PDA here to connect again for me and send the data through, hit close, and I go back to the client logs and refresh now, and I've got the client log sent to me from the PDA on the BrightServer now, and I can view that. So here you just see the trace of that person logging in. They're doing a bit of synchronization and then logging out again. I can save that to file. I can even do some searching around. Very useful tools for troubleshooting in the field. That concludes this video, and so what we've shown you is how from within my BrightBuilder environment I can connect to any BrightServer, and I can get real-time up-to-date data to maintain and monitor BrightServer. Be sure to check out our other videos on brightexpress.com.